There is a word for it. It's called lassicism. It's that strange, dark urge you feel when you're standing on a safe, quiet street, and for a split second you imagine a disaster. Maybe it's a fire that takes everything you own. Maybe it's a total societal collapse. You don't want to die, you just want to survive. You want the smooth, boring arc of your life to snap. You want to be struck by something real. If you've ever felt this, you probably thought you were broken. You probably thought, my life is good. I have food, I have safety, I have Wi-Fi. Why am I fantasizing about the apocalypse? Well, I'm here to tell you that you aren't broken, and you aren't crazy. You are just biologically unemployed. You are an apex predator living in a padded room. Your brain was built for a world of ice ages and tiger attacks, but it's currently stuck processing email chains and traffic jams. And that itch for a crisis, that isn't a death wish. That is your survival instinct screaming at you to wake up. Welcome to The Gaze Beneath. Today, we're looking at why your brain hates peace and why you secretly love the idea of the world ending. Let's look at the timeline. For 99% of human history, safety didn't exist. You woke up and you had one job: don't die. You had to hunt, build, run, and fight. Every calorie was earned. Every day was a high-stakes gamble. Evolutionary psychologists call these phylogenetic threats, things like snakes, heights, spiders. Your brain has specific, preloaded software to handle them. When you see a snake, you react before you even think. But then, we won. We built cities. We invented agriculture. We created the modern world. And in 2026, the threats look different. Now, we face ontogenetic threats, modern, abstract hazards, the stock market, the fear of being canceled on the internet. Here's the problem. Your brain, it doesn't respect these new threats. It doesn't have a rapid response module for a declined credit card. So, what happens? We enter a state of evolutionary mismatch. Imagine you take a wolf, an animal designed to hunt across hundreds of miles, and you put it in a small, concrete enclosure. You feed it perfectly. It's safe. It will never starve. Does the wolf get happy? No, it gets neurotic. It paces back and forth. It chews on the bars. That wolf is you. Modern safety has created a stagnation. You are suffering from what researchers call biological unemployment. Your survival skills, your ability to track, to endure for a purpose, have been laid off. You have been made redundant by your own comfort. And nothing is more terrifying to a survival machine than having nothing to survive. So, your brain is bored. But it's not just waiting in line at the DMV board, it is chemically starving. See, we have these things called survival circuits in the amygdala and hypothalamus. They are designed to override everything else. When a crisis hits, a real crisis, these circuits flood your system with dopamine, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. Note that I said dopamine. We usually think of dopamine as the pleasure chemical, the thing you get from scrolling TikTok or eating sugar. But in a crisis, dopamine does something else. It signals salience. It tells you, this matters, pay attention, do something. In a crisis, the noise in your head stops. The default mode network, that nagging voice reminding you of your awkward social interactions or your taxes, shuts down. It gets replaced by the task-positive network, the get-it-done system. This feels good. It feels like clarity. People who survive disasters often report a strange sense of euphoria. Sociologists call it disaster utopianism. The normal social hierarchies dissolve. The abstract stress vanishes. It's just you, your tribe, and the problem. But because we don't have real crises, we manufacture them. We develop cortisol addiction. We unknowingly start fights with our partners. We doom scroll for hours looking for something that makes us angry. We are trying to trigger that emergency override. We are trying to hack our own biology to feel alert again. We are addicted to the idea of the threat because the peace feels like a coma. This explains so much about our culture, doesn't it? Why do we love true crime? Why do millions of people relax by watching stories about serial killers before bed? It's called benign masochism. It's scary play. Your brain is running a simulation. It's using threat simulation theory. When you watch a horror movie or listen to a story about a kidnapping, your brain is treating it as low-stakes training. You are gathering fitness-relevant information. You are looking for red flags. You are rehearsing your escape plan. You are exercising those atrophied survival muscles without actually risking your life. But here is the catch. Simulation isn't enough, and this is where the modern boredom trap gets dangerous. Because we are safe, we lack eustress. Eustress is positive stress. It's the stress of the hunt, the stress of building a house, the stress of a challenge you chose. Instead, we are drowning in distress, the chronic, low-grade stress of holding down a job you hate or worrying about global politics you can't control. This mismatch is why you stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Your body is fully charged with energy for a fight that never comes. You are a soldier without a war, and that energy has to go somewhere. Usually, it turns inward. It becomes anxiety. It becomes depression. It becomes that gnawing feeling that you need a reset button. You want the apocalypse, because the apocalypse offers a clean slate. In a collapsed society, you don't have to worry about your credit score. You just have to find water. And ironically, that feels easier. So, what do? Do we actually want to crisis? Do we really want to lose our homes and our loved ones? Of course not. That's the fantasy, not the reality. The reality of trauma is horrific. But we can't just ignore the instinct. We can't sedate the wolf. We have to feed it. The antidote to biological unemployment isn't more safety, it's voluntary suffering. We have to reintroduce the struggle into our lives, but on our own terms. Research shows that things like high-intensity exercise, cold exposure, or complex, difficult learning trigger the same neurochemical payoffs as ancestral survival struggles. It's called the helper's high. It's the dopamine release you get from intense effort or altruism. You need to find something hard, not annoying hard, like traffic, physically or mentally hard. Run a marathon, learn a language that frustrates you, volunteer for emergency services, build something with your hands that takes months to finish. You need to create eustress to burn off that excess energy. You need to prove to your own brain that you are competent, that if the lights did go out, you wouldn't just be a victim, you'd be an asset. The reason you secretly pray for a crisis is because you are tired of sleeping. You are tired of the numbness of a life that demands nothing from you but your compliance. But you don't need the world to burn to feel the heat. You just need to strike your own match. Don't wait for a disaster to make you feel alive. Go find your struggle, because the wolf is pacing, and it's time to let him run.